You've been trying to climb the highest 7 mountains
Yes.
on the earth
Yes.
at different continents. And you do that with frequency.
Yes.
1 month for
1 month.
each.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing. How did you prepare yourself for that?
So my expeditions prepared me technically for it, skill-wise. The Satopant expedition, the basic mountaineering course, the advanced mountaineering course.
What are the most important parts of these courses?
The most important part is to know how to survive at high altitude. It is a skill. It is something that can go wrong at any moment with even the most experienced mountaineers.
Did you have some crisis?
Actually, I've been pretty lucky and pretty I'm accident prone in normal city life. I fall all the time. But in the mountains, I've never had an incident till date, touch wood.
What's the secret?
I think I follow every instruction that my instructors gave me as a student.
Have you ever tried to be a little bit naughty?
I'm extremely naughty, but when it comes to life and death, I know what will help me survive, and I know what will keep my team alive as well.
Have you ever imagined what your life will be like? I mean, you are only 26 years old. At the time when you were attempting to climb the 7 mountains, you were only 20 years old.
Yes.
And you succeeded in most of the cases.
Yes.
Only one exception, that was because of other unpredictable conditions. What's it going to be like for you when it comes to mountains and your relationship lifelong with mountains?
I don't think this thirst is not quenchable. You know, you can climb the highest peaks and it will still not satisfy you, because what I am addicted to is climbing, not getting to the top.
Why is it addictive?
Because for me, I am the best version of myself when I am in the mountains.
What was it like, a best version of you? Describe it to me.
I don't have to pretend at all. I don't have to fit into the definitions of an Indian or of a woman or of anything when I'm in the mountains. I get to be what my soul is, or I get to cry, I get to yell, I get to not talk, I get to just be whatever the hell I want to be, you know, without being questioned, without being. But when I come back to society, whether I like it or not, we have to fit into, even to fit into the label of a mountaineer. Oh, you're a mountaineer, but you know, you get cold. I feel terribly cold in Beijing, you know, and people will be like, but you're a mountaineer, you know, you're not supposed to feel cold. And I'm like, hey, I'm still a human. I do feel cold. So, you know, it's simple things like that. I think nature allows me to be nature. I'm natural in the mountains, and I love that. And I strive to keep that person alive, because it's difficult to keep that person alive in civilization, in society, in all the definitions that we are supposed to follow. But if we actually follow just the definition of a human and of nature, we're good enough. And I don't know why we have to strive. Like, I don't know why I have to struggle with society for this.
Yeah. How did you start it?
So, as a child, I grew up in Pune, but every summer vacation we spent in the Himalayas. So, the Himalayas have always been a very big part of my life. Though originally the plan as a grown-up, like, you know, the dream was to become a dancer and a choreographer. But when I was 17, I did my basic mountaineering course in the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Uttarakhand in India. And that was kind of a changing point, because I suddenly wanted to only climb mountains. I didn't even know whether it was a profession. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it would do to my life, but I actually went to the principal and said, can you keep me here and do like a graduation course, because I just finished my 12th grade in mountaineering. And he was like, no, you can't, you know, go back home and come back for the advanced course next year, and we'll see what kind of a mountaineer you will become. And so I went, I didn't want to actually study, so I went to a dance school to do a diploma. And throughout the year, it was like as if a preparation for the next course for me. But I was trained in ballet, in modern dance, and Kalari Paitu.
You are kidding me.
Yes.
You are kidding me.
Not really.
Are you really a dancer?
Yes, yes.
During the process, any impressive stories and scenes?
In fact, my second expedition that I mean the second mountain that I climbed was Satopant, and I climbed it with my instructors. Was one of the most dramatic and story-filled. I mean,
Tell me about it.
So, my instructor had actually lost two climbers on this mountain on earlier expeditions, and every night, you know, he would tell us stories of the earlier expedition, and he would tell us that, you know, Tyagi comes to my dream, and he would make all these faces and say that his friend comes to his tent and asks him about life nowadays, what's happening in the real world, and things like that, and we would, you know, laugh it off. The day I moved to advanced base camp, I dreamt of a man with a bleeding eye, and for about 4 or 5 nights consecutively I dreamt of this man. I didn't think too much about it, but one of the nights, one of the instructors gave a detailed version of how Lance Naik Tyagi, this climber, died in the expedition, and he said that his eye sacs hit his eye as he fell, so he had a bleeding eye. And the moment he said that, I froze, you know, because I'd been dreaming of this man. And so I went up to him. I didn't tell all the other girls. I didn't want to freak anyone out. But I went to my instructor and I said, you know, sir, I have been dreaming of a man with a bleeding eye. And so my instructor said, what does he do in your dream? And I said, well, he comes and he sits, or, you know, he's around, he's in various scenes. And he said, well, maybe he likes you, you know, maybe you think I'm joking when I tell you that he comes to my tent every night. And till date, I don't know whether it's the truth or not. We also had...
But I think it is a story of camaraderie, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. And they always say that mountain spirits are always helpful, are always good. So I'm not scared.